heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact, I blast tasteful bars and pass. I back up my actions, fact, don't ask, grab reactions, jacked, attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new submerged juice. I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now. Get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty, hello everybody. This is Kirishok here, and now, before we do begin, let's give a brief little review. In the last part we had a lot of things happen. We had Deku and Luna. These two, they traveled far, and they've made it to the Forgotten Valley where Deku, he dived into a pool thinking it would help restore his connection to the Avatar state, and heal his spirit. Now, Deku's been cut off from Vaatu and Rava for a little over 7 months. And in this amount of time, he's had a lot to think about. He has had a lot to do, and he's had a lot of time to think just to himself. No one to interrupt his thoughts, no one to get in his way, and it felt weird. Deku finally knows that Rava was right, and he wants to apologize. However, whenever Deku dived into the pool, he met the Mother of Faces, and he learned quite a lot. She offered Deku one wish, and Deku, it took him a second to try and think. He almost shouted out without even an ounce of restraint something that could have been bad. However, he made the smart choice. He asked her how he could save the world. And right now, what he's learned, it's quite simple. He needs to kill and take down Haran's organization. That's one step. The others are a bit more tricky. Somebody else is handling Quirk Singularity. However, the way they're doing so, it doesn't sound too good. And then there's also another thing. Haran is being possessed by a spirit. And he came to the Mother of Faces years ago. That's what is confusing to Deku. Haran, he came here years ago and got a new face. And a new name, but he's also possessed by another spirit? He's never heard of a thing like that. Some spirit taking over a human body. But now that he does think about it, what does happen to a human spirit whenever it does wander too far away? Or get lost into the spirit world? There's a vacant shell right there. And something jumping inside of it, honestly, doesn't sound too far-fetched. Now, with that all out of the way, Deku and Luna, they went to go save the Sun Warriors after the Mother of Faces revealed that their entire order is in jeopardy of being destroyed by spirits. And these two came flying in and saved the day. The Sun Warriors, they would have fell on this front. The amount of spirits that were coming was overwhelming, and their forces, they were spread a bit too thin. However, with Deku using the Avatar state, he was able to push back the forces and allow the Sun Warriors to actually gain a bit of an advantage. And in this brief second, they were reinvigorated. They thought they would fall today. However, now their order rises. Now, with that being said, Deku and Luna, they're not captured by the Sun Warriors, but they are very intrigued to know what is going on. Since one of these people, they were flying, and the power on display from one of their flames, it was intense, and the other, their heat, the power of it, and the blue coloring, it's not something that they're used to seeing. And the two, they currently are brought to the chief or the leader, where they do speak with this person. And this person, they are very confused. One of the people in front of them is claiming to be the Avatar, and they know about this name. It's been written down in their order before. The Avatars once visited this place, but now they're back. And from what they can tell, they've barely aged. Now, Deku, after being asked these questions, he does try to explain. And the Sun Warriors, they're confused. But they do somewhat try and get it. Deku's eyes were glowing like one of those spirits, and he can bend other elements. And the title Avatar, it does belong to him. But his companion, the one with the blue flames, they don't know much about her. And Luna would try to express. And the Sun Warriors, they're still confused. They know nothing about waterbending, and they know nothing about earthbending. And they do just see the way her stances are strange. While she has learned traditional firebending combat, it does still seem to be lingering those previous forms. Now, Deku, he would try to help the Sun Warriors. And these people, they had it rough. I mean, after the first few days, it became apparent. These attacks were happening every day, and sometimes it would happen at night. Trying to fend these people off and trying to find this gate, or crack or tear into the spirit world, it was nearly impossible at first. However, those days, they quickly started to turn into weeks. And while that was going on, we did actually have over with Deku's counterpart. He moved Deku's family. Deku's mother and father are either in the South or North Poles. And right now, that is where things are getting a little bit more complicated. These two, they're not too sure how much longer they're going to need to spend here. And Deku, he does explain to them a few things. They should just stay there for right now. And at least try and be safe. Him at least bringing up a few things after they would leave about what's happening with his investigation. Since he does talk about how one of these people, they may have known the address or even where they lived. And in Konosashi, while they do get scared by Deku from this, they are starting to understand a bit more things. Getting them outside of Japan is good. And Deku, while he does hate to lie to his parents like that, he does know that right now, keeping them as far away as this from possible is the best option. And Deku, yeah, he does still try and continue on hunting Haran. And Haran, he is using a copy of Deku to still try and terrorize people. And that copy, he's been doing a lot. His memory of events goes back to after he kills the White Lotus. And that's where things are a bit more tricky. Twice is still going off of those measurements. And that copy has been told many more things. And he's been a bit more ruthless. Now, Deku, yeah. He's still over with the people, or the Sun Warriors. Jesus. Now, Deku, in this amount of time, let's just say a month or two may have passed. And Deku, he's been trying to do much. Him and Luna have both been learning the way of the dragon. And this art, it's both beautiful and embarrassing. And the two, they actually currently are fighting. Today, it does feel strange. As Deku and Luna are both doing the dance, they are actually fighting. It feels strange. Deku going to spin around. And he's moving a bit more acrobatically. In fact, this stance, the more they just think about it, you're incorporating more acrobatic type elements, such as similarities to air and water. You're not trying to be grounded, and you're not trying to be sharp or fluid. You're trying to bend the element, not let it control you or fuel it with rage. And it feels strange. This is a power you need to use. You need to be sure of it. Powering it with rage is helpful. But this new feeling, this makes his bending feel better, more solid. His flames have started to get better too. He has noticed that. And there actually is tonight, where while the sun is going down, Deku and Luna, they do both stand there. And Deku, he actually would have joined a few people going to sit down, as so does Luna. the two of them, they washed up and sat down with some of the Sun Warriors. As many of them, they're talking. Their guests have been detrimental in repelling these attacks and taking down some of these evil spirits. And it has been a bit nice. And Deku and Luna, in this amount of time as well, they've had much to do, much to think about. And yeah, the two have talked. Deku, he did like Luna at one point. I mean, it feels weird. It's strange. Almost 4 years ago, he met her. And, well, they were in an underground fighting tournament. But now, they're in the Fire Nation with people who first learned firebending from spirits. They're sitting around a campfire waiting to repel spirits coming to this world. I mean, it sounds insane. If he would have learned this years ago, he would have thought he was crazy. And Luna, she actually is sitting next to Deku. As somebody, they are actually passing around something in a small bowl. And Deku, whenever he does actually get something passed to him, he does get to look down at it. Him going to actually drink from it before we're going to turn and pass it to Luna. Ask her if she does want the rest of this. Yeah, I'll take some. Her going to somewhat drink it before going to somewhat pass it around again. And the person, they do comment that both those two, they really, really need to stop doing that. What is it? There is not much of that brew made. And it is annoying to deal with. I know, but after the day we've been having, it's been needed. Besides, I'm doing better now. Doing better. What exactly does that mean? I've been more focused with bending, is all it does mean. In fact, I believe that I could teach a few people here a few things. The way that you've been taught, you flow and move like a river current. I do not understand. It's hard to explain to you because of the way you've all been taught over the years and millennia, I guess. It's just like this. Waterbenders, the way they do move, you guys have similar styles in the body. I mean, you constantly keep a circle around you and make sure your body, you're covering your vital points when you need to. I mean, it's good. I think there's a waterbending style like it too. There is. Correct, yes. Now, in the middle of this, you do actually where the alarms do sound. And Deku, he actually would jump up with both Luna and this person, as they do need to repel an attack tonight. And many people, they do rush into battle. And Deku, he actually is a bit more intrigued by this. He does go flying in, him with Luna on one of his arms. As the other two do go flying in, she does actually go to somewhat let go and fly forwards with fire, before actually going to attack many different spirits. Her immediately going to create a large ball of flames and disperse it throughout the area. And Deku, he actually is going to fly forwards. He needs to discover where these spirits are coming from. And while he has tried this, many have tried to get in his way. Okay, that's what he needs to do. Deku actually going to have flames to burst from his feet, as with his hands, he does this one angle them backwards and blast forwards, increasing his speed. He needs to find out where it is quickly. Where is it? Where is it? Now, Deku, he is trying to focus. As his eyes do start to glow, Deku, he does actually hear Rava. And she does begin to start interpreting a few things to Deku. She begins to start expressing. Where Deku is heading is somewhat close. Thanks. Where you are going, it is off. I feel it, this disturbance. Got it. But do you know how to close it? I have a few assumptions, yes. However, I would need to be in charge. I can try to give you control, Rava, but I don't know. Trying to close it, I don't know if I can. Last time I saw it, it didn't seem to work and it got a bit worse. Hmm, I see. Allow me to guide you. I will. Now, Deku, as he's flying around, he does see it in the distance. It's on the side of a mountain. And, well, watching something charge out from around the corner, it almost looks a bit cartoonish. And Deku, after somewhat going to fly up and around, he actually somewhat going to blast a large amount of fire directly at this creature. Before, it is somewhat going to somewhat reel backwards out in pain. And Deku, he does going to bring his hands up and pull them backwards, before blasting a large torrent of air directly into this creature. Now, the creature, it does go somewhat going back to the portal, and Deku does watch it go to stomp away, before bringing his hands up, and his eyes start to glow with a lot more power. Now, Deku, he actually does feel it. That strange feeling in the back of his mind. It's getting dimmer, I guess is the right word. And right now, Deku, he does feel it. Him reaching out and almost bending it like an element. And Deku, he would watch it. It's almost like sewing up a needle, sewing with a needle and thread. That's what Deku can basically attribute it to. As whenever it does start to somewhat close together, it does just seal perfectly. And right now, after watching it disappear, Deku, he does something to start flying back. Some of the spirits, they are disappearing. And others, while they are trying to attack, they're quickly starting to understand things. They can't do very much. And right now, Deku, whenever he does return, he does do so with some wounds. Because, well, some of these creatures here, they're fast. And others, they have actually done some damage. Now, whenever Deku does return, you do actually have Luna. She actually does have a wound on her arm. And many people, they are trying to help out their own wounded. And Deku, whenever he does get to go up to Koya, or not Koya, Luna, he does ask her if she's okay. Mm-hmm. I'm fine. Just, damn thing hurt me. Okay. You should be alright though, right? I don't know. Fuck. Does it look bad? Deku bring his hand up, and starting to ignite flames, telling her that it does look a little bad, but this is going to hurt a little bit more. And Luna, she does understand, looking down to the ground, before at least Deku is going to bring up a piece of metal. Him going to flatten it out a bit and square it up. Luna going to put it directly between her teeth, as Deku does cauterize the wound. And after Luna does somewhat go to try and scream out, Deku, he does at least go to pull his hand away. Before at least going to hold on to her, whenever she's somewhat go to collapse a bit forward. I got you. Are you okay? That hurts. I know. But hey, Deku pulling back. It's over. It is? Yeah, I found it. We can leave. Now, Deku would look at Luna's face. The expression she does have. Whenever she heard it was over, she smiled. But them leaving, that's where things seem to sour the mood. And Luna, she is at least going to try and express to Deku. Let's stay one more night. And Deku, he does agree. And right now, a celebration is being held. The Sun Warriors survive, and they will continue to fight for generations. They owe a great debt to the Avatar. And Deku, yeah. After the party is held, many people they are celebrating. And the next morning, the Sun Warriors, they actually do wish to repay Deku for this. However, Deku would try to explain a few things. That's not really necessary. However, they do insist on it. Deku, he has spent a significant amount of time with them. And in this amount of time, they have done much. Not only for him, but he has done much for them. And they would not be alive without him. And they do actually offer Deku something that does sound kind of interesting. They offer to give Deku some ceremonial tattoos. And Deku, after hearing about this, he's sort of intrigued. And they do try to explain. The process will take hours. And, well, it will be painful. Ultimately, in the end, these will show that he is a warrior. And they will actually allow him to choose. Now, Deku, he is intrigued. And right now, he does not go to think back at his air nomad tattoos. The ones he should have received. Whenever he completed air nomad training, and his mother heard about this, she flipped out. And she screamed at them for the idea of giving a child tattoos like that. And he was told that whenever he is older, he may choose to actually receive the tattoos. But Deku, he never really did go back. And right now, he does think about it. The air nomads, they were peaceful warriors. And, well, while he is an airbender, he isn't really a nomad. And Deku, he actually has to ask a few things of them. Because of his time training with these people who have learned from the dragons, he wants to get dragon-like tattoos. He wants them to be very similar to the air nomad tattoos. However, instead of them covering the top portion of his hands, he wants them down by his wrist. And the head would actually start from right there. Right on Deku's, upper wrist, connecting onto his forearm, the head of the tattoo for the dragon is made. Before it does go to directly wrap around Deku's arms and up and around, up to the parts of the shoulder where it does actually connect onto the back. And Deku would also get another one on the other side of his other arm. And the tattoos, yeah. Deku, he does only get them this much. Up to wrap around the arm before the two dragons, they do go to lock around Deku's back and up towards his shoulders. And Luna, yeah. After Deku, he does get his tattoo, or tattoos, she does talk about getting one of her own. And she actually does get a dragon tattoo. She does get a tattoo on her back, up towards the middle. And it actually is somewhat going to snake around onto the top part of her shoulder. And it is a very nice looking tattoo. While it is just black ink, it does still look beautiful. And she does even comment on it. These people talked about adding different colors to it. Because of the, plants and stuff that they do make ink out of. However, she simply just stated, simple ink like this will be perfect. And the two, they do end up spending another day here. Before there is the next morning. Now, on this day they do finally head out. And Deku, even though his arms are in a lot of pain, and there actually is his shoulders, and a good part of his upper back, he does comment to Luna about how much time they have spent here. And she actually would go to agree with him. The journey, it was almost, 3.5 months? It was interesting, to say the least. Now, Luna does stare at Deku. And Deku, he does look out. He's looking over the water, And he is thinking. He's thinking. Are you okay? Yeah. Sorry. It's just facing Haran. That's that's gonna be a challenge. I know. Yeah. And I feel good. Other than the pain. Uh Luna, I I don't know. Deku turning. And Luna she actually does step forwards. As Deku, whenever he does get to see her, he does get to bring his hands up. Luna kissing Deku. Before Deku, he does get to grab onto her face. This feels different, but is it really? He doesn't. Now, the two do hold this. And Deku, after him and Luna do go to pull away, he does stare right at her. And she actually stares back at him, a little bit embarrassed. She never really did get over that crush. Now, Deku, he does stare back at her, before just kissing her this time. And right now, this does somewhat feel like a good distraction. However, after the two do go to pull away this time, they do talk about how they do need to leave. And Luna, she does go to agree. As the two, they do attempt to make their way back. And right now, figuring this out, it's going to be a new change. Now, Deku and Luna, they would arrive later at night. And we actually have Yu. Yu, she is out meditating. And Koya, yeah. Right now, she actually is working on some of the chores. And Rulin and everybody else, they have gone fast asleep. Lee has been powering the generators for a while, since he is the only firebender now here. And using that much lightning, it can burn him out real fast, especially trying to store up a massive amount of it at once. And today is no exception. And Koya, after doing some of the chores, she actually is going to walk out, asking Yu if she does think about a lot of things. Her going to somewhat sit down onto the hardwood. I do think of a few things. Why? I'm just asking. What are you asking though? Just, what do you think that I should say to him? About? About everything. I mean, we didn't exactly have a good breakup. Well, we talked about figuring each other out, figuring ourselves out. But now, I'm not sure. I still don't know. Koya, I get it. You gonna turn. Expressing. Deku, he's a very unique guy. Unique is an understatement. He has spirits in his he has spirits in his mind, I guess. As weird as that sentence sounds, it's true. Oh. Yeah, I think I've heard about that before. But it's not all that weird. I mean, after a lot of stuff that we have seen, that's kind of an understatement. Right. But what about him, though? What do you mean? They've been gone for a while. I mean, I'm worried. So am I. But we are safe here. If they found him, then they would have already found us. As the two, they are talking about this, there actually is Yu. Yu, she does feel some shift in the air. And right now, after going to look up, she does see a few things. there's somebody flying in. And whenever the person they do come landing down to the ground, they do get to stand up. As right now they're wearing some strange clothes. Before Koya, she actually has to bring her hands up and get ready. Her immediately about to go to bloodbending. However, then another person has land. Them with not only a glider in their hand, but also with a bag. And the moment he does get to land, he does get to look directly at everybody. Well, where's the welcoming committee? Izuku? Luna? Holy shit. What happened to your arms and your face? Oh my god. Wait, your scar. Yeah, that's a lot to talk about. Koya is staring at Deku. Deku, he has arm tattoos. And they're dragons. And then there's, well, from what she can see, his body looks more muscular and, well, it's weird. Is he leaner or more muscular? That's hard to tell actually. But then there's just that expression. He did it, didn't he? Now, Deku, he does tell both of them. They're really tired right now, and he's about to go back to bed. Since, yeah, his room, it sounds really nice right now. A blanket and a pillow, along with even an actual bed. And, well, he's going to shower, then head there, since they've been traveling all day. Now, Luna, she doesn't want to go to agree. Her expressing that after the weeks they've had, functioning appliances like that sound like heaven. And the two, they do just stare at them. They're wearing strange clothes. And they're not going to mention the tattoos. Especially whenever Koya just see Luna turn. And something is peeking out from the back of her shirt. Okay, what the hell? Now, the two, after walking inside, they do go to do what they need to. They shower up and bathe and then just go straight to bed. And they're going to be dealing with the fallout of last night in the morning. Now, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.